Howdy folks, this is Deacon Parsons, and the subject of this video is the IRS scandal. Now, as you've probably already heard, the IRS unconstitutionally singled out about 500 conservative groups with names like Tea Party, pro-life groups, church groups, conservative groups of all sorts, basically anybody that they thought wouldn't support the current administration. Now, this wasn't the action of a few rogue employees as they first tried to tell us, but we're finding out that this came from the highest echelons of the IRS administration. We're also finding a link to the White House, and wonder of wonders, some of the high IRS employees happen to be married to people who are high up in the union that represents the IRS employees. Since nobody's being forthcoming about this gross abuse of government power, and since most people involved are doing their best to hide what happened, and since this was so widespread, everybody in the IRS had to know what was going on, and everybody in the IRS should have spoke up and said something, and since the chances of actually prosecuting the people responsible for this are just about nil, I suggest that we put the following legislation through Congress. Item number 1, void any and all labor contracts for private individuals, the collective bargaining contracts, and all the retirement packages. The reason for doing this is simply failure to do the job as required. Item number 2, force any and all IRS employees who received any bonuses of any kind in the last 6 years to return the bonus in full. If it was good enough for the executives of companies that took bailout money, it's good enough for the people that work for the IRS. Point number 3, decrease every IRS employee's pay by 25% across the board. Decrease the pension payments of anybody that retired in the last 6 years by that same 25%. If they don't like it, we can just call it a tax for not doing your job properly. Item number 4, require that any future bonuses, pay raises, or any type of any remuneration through the IRS or their retirement plans must require congressional action and approval. This will make sure that everybody in the IRS and in every other element of government realize that we, the people, are pretty tired of being screwed over by our employees. It will let the American people know that Congress actually got off its butt and did something to gain control of a rogue agency, and we can put away the pitchforks and torches and put off the coming revolution for another week or so anyway. If you think this is a good idea, look up your congressman and senator's addresses on the internet and send them a nice, polite letter or email. And ask all your friends to do the same. This is Deacon Parsons saying, love your maker, love your mate, and do what's right because it's right, and devil take the hindmost.